Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to cast our Tempest Fugit spell and go far, far back in time. Back to dragon number 88, August 1984. 40 years ago. I am amazed this is this old. I remember picking this issue up in 1984. I always liked this cover because I always thought the little person in the tree here was going to spell a big problem for these orcs or whatever they are down on the ground. I never thought that person was trapped so much as waiting his chance. That's just my opinion. But for $3, we get Elephant Hunt, a new game, Falling Damage Figured Out, and the Marvel File, all from Dragon Magazine. Love Dragon Magazine. Still miss it. Okay, on the inside cover, we see the colorful world of the new adventure for Ral Partha. Ral Partha always had some beautiful figures. I always like this elephant with the howdah on the back. How much is the War Mastodon? He was $15 in 1984. And then we go to ICE, Iron Crown Enterprises, discover the action-packed world of Lore Master. ICE, I was losing a little bit of traction, at least with the D&D crowd by this point. Arms Law, Claw Law, Spell Law had all kind of come and gone. I knew a few people that played by those rules. I was involved in a game or two that had them. They were fine, but I thought unnecessarily complicated. And then we go to the table of contents. Everything we get in August 1984. Kim Mong has one little word for us, and then we go out on a limb for letters from readers. And then people complaining through their letters about not enough deities. And then the Man of Gold, M.A.R. Barker. To Kemmel, the Empire of the Petal Throne. Never played Empire of the Petal Throne. Encountered it a time or two, but I never had the opportunity to actually play it. If anybody did, let me know what your experience was. And then the standard ad for James Bond 007, role-playing in Her Majesty's Secret Service. The forum, opinions and observations, again from readers. We go to Raffin Miniatures, quality custom characters for your characters. So you get to choose one here for custom characters, and that's kind of neat. I always like Raffin too. Gods of the Sul Pantheon, a terribly diverse trio, Sertul, Furbo, and Weejas. Some of the Gods of the Sul Pantheon by Leonard the Kafka. I always like these gods, an integral part of Greyhawk. And then we have an ad for powerful gaming pieces from RJM Enterprises in Malvern, New York. And something strange is going on. Illuminati Play by Mail from Steve Jackson Games? Adventure Systems out of Texas. I'm guessing it was. Completing our Gods of the Sula Empire article. Physics and falling damage. Velocity is the key to understanding crash landings. We took the falling damage out of the Wilderness Survival Guide, which is terminal velocity deals 20 dice 6 points of damage, don't save for half. I like it. This goes into the science and physics of falling damage, which is always fun. I actually do enjoy this kind of article. Continuing on our article, we go to Game Master's Guide, Dungeon Master Utilities, from Columbus, Georgia. Some refuse to die in the Aftermath. Aftermath is a role-playing game of the post-Holocaust world. Clamber through the ruins. I'd rather play Game World. From Fantasy Games Unlimited. And Diamond Dice Incorporated. They've sold over 300,000 sets out of Park Ridge, Illinois, not terribly far from where I live. Continuing on our falling article. Be all that you can dream with heroes. Avalon Hill's role-playing magazine. Avalon Hill out of Baltimore, Maryland. Continuing on, we're still falling. This guy's falling with style. The High Pong Halo, high altitude, low opening, I believe is what that's a reference to. RPG Incorporated out of Alvin, Texas. And don't forget to label your letter to Dragon Magazine. Kinetic energy is the key. A brief rebuttal to the physics falling damage system. Interesting, they had a rebuttal on the next page. The article finished on. That's kind of fun. Write on if you want to write about something or have questions about the article. Go ahead and send a letter to Dragon Magazine. Earthwood, Dawn of the Ancients role-playing. It's a play-by-mail from Miami, Florida. And Shogun. Shogun was by The Armory. Oh, it was just distributed. That's fun. The Shogun game. Shogun was still huge in the mid-'80s. Rolaids, Real Magic, quality writing, clear maps, detailed backgrounds, and available to store near you. Let's see what store was near me here in Illinois. Never was at Anderson's, downstate. Brighton Park Hobby. No. Yeah, I think I was there actually. Depot Hobby, Family Book Exchange, Games Plus, of course, they're still around. Lyle's Hobbies and Crafts, I've been there. Don't know if they're still around or not. I haven't been there in years. Place in Granite City. Pastime Hobbies in Urbana. Pat's Hobbies and Crafts in Oak Lawn. That's the place I used to go. That was one of my main hobby stores when I first started. Scale Models Limited and Shannon Books. Oh my goodness, Shannon Books. I knew those folks personally. I didn't realize they had an ad here. Wow. The Shannon Books, the building's not even there anymore. But Rolaids being sold at all these fine places out of Windmill Hobbies from Geneva, Illinois. That's kind of neat. Shannon Books, wow. The Ecology of the Rust Monster. Love the Rust Monster. This is just such a great way to scare your player characters. And I love the ecology articles. This one by Ed Greenwood. Continuing on, we get an ad here for the World of Haven. Haven, the Free City by Game Lords, Gaithersburg, Maryland. And then Fantasy Lords from Grenadier Models. Love Grenadier also. I have the Traveler set. I have both Traveler sets. I think that's all I've got that's on this page. Out of Springfield, Pennsylvania. Off the shelf. These are some books that are out. I like that they did this in Dragon. Found a couple of books to read out of this section. Feudal Lords Game from Graph Simulations out of St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Beyond the Dungeon. Moving a campaign into the Great Outdoors. Part 2 by Catherine Kerr. Yeah, the Great Outdoors. Big challenge, even at this time in D&D. There were still not a ton of rules for how to do some stuff. We'd figured a lot out by this point. I've been playing for over 4 years. But still a bit of a challenge for you as a DM. And then, of course, we have a fine ad for Put Yourself in the Story for Travelers, Science Fiction Adventure in the Far Future from Game Designers Workshop out of Bloomington, Illinois. GDW, I miss you. Continuing on our trip outside the dungeon, we get to stop by for a spell witch hunt role-playing game in Salem, 1692 from Staycom Simulations, Inc. out of Bayonne, New Jersey. And The Complete Strategist. The newest adventure lies on the horizon. Complete Strategist. As I understand from one of my viewers, this is still around. Continuing on our article, we go to The Companions out of Bath, Maine. Roleplay campaign and adventure game aids. And then, of course, we've taken the dice out of Fighting Nova, Game Designs Incorporated, out of Manchester, Connecticut. Yeah, these were books. You'd turn a page and it would be book against book. I'd seen a few of those around. Continuing on our very long article on taking your players out of the dungeon. Villains and Vigilantes out of Roslyn, New York. Yeah, I played V&V in my very earliest days. Right after I discovered D&D, I started playing V&V. Villains Vigilantes got knocked out of our group by champions. Save. Cast your own fantasy armies. The Duncan Company in Calvert, Texas. Casting is easy and fun. I know that my wife, then my girlfriend, and I both looked into these casting kits to see if there's any way we can make our own. We never found anything that really we thought would work. Continuing on, our article, which goes even further. Visit Pern, Land of the Dragons. Dragon Riders of Pern from Mayfair Games, and the Marvel Superheroes calendar for 1985. Wow. Citadel Miniatures and Warhammers, presented by Games Workshop. Games Workshop is very much still around. Finishing out our long article on Leaving the Dungeon, experience the realm of complete fantasy from Bard Games, Greenwich, Connecticut. And you can get one of these 3 amulets out of Troy, Michigan for $7.75 each. And those are actual size, folks. If Adventure has a game, it must be Indiana Jones from TSR. Has a name or a game? It is a game, yeah. San Francisco Convention, or Science Fiction, Science Fiction Gaming Convention calendar. I don't know why it's San Francisco. So jump in your time machine, you go back 40 years, and you can go to this thing. Raffam Incorporated, for Canadians only, although they'll import. Ral Parth of Fantasy. I don't think I have any of these guys. Nope. And then the Armory. Armory paints. Armory paint was really good paint. I haven't used it in years. I don't know if it's still the paint or not. Still out of alphabetical order. Mount Prospect, Games Plus, and Pegasus Hobbies in Waukegan. Never up in Pegasus. 10th Anniversary Dungeons & Dragons Collector's Set. Celebrate D&D 10 years. Considering it's now 50, that's kind of staggering. That's pretty neat. Elephant Hunt by Tom Wham. I read a lot of these games. I've never punched them or played them. I know a lot of people love these games. So if you played this game, let me know what you thought and if it was a good time. Because they do look like they'd be fun, but I never want to rip up my copy of the Dragon to punch the game out. The way things are these days in Darkest Africa, continuing on. And then A Marvelous Adventure, Marvel Superheroes role-playing game. With the tremendous success of Champions, Marvel said, hey, why not? And so Marvel got into it. The game actually wasn't that bad. I liked the section in Dragon. Apparently we are not selling it. Yes, we are selling it in Illinois. Woodstock, Illinois, never was there. Friend's Hobby Shop in Waukegan, no. Friendly Frank's Comics in Alsip, Illinois. That used to be my home comic shop. Wow. Going back in time on a lot of these. That's 2 now. Wow. Yeah, I was at Friendly Frank's all the time. I lived about 3 miles from there. This is out of Lincolnwood, Illinois. Hobby Distributors. Continuing out the forum, Lance from Castle Creations. Oh, Lance and Laser. A new line of fantasy, dragons, space, and adventure figures in 25mm. And then Jorun at Gen Con 17 Game Fair. Skyrealms Publishing. Oh, my 40th anniversary of going to Gen Con is in a few days. I was at the Gen Con 1984, which apparently was the 17th one. Okay, continuing on our forum. We're simply more than amazing science fiction. It's a whole new look and an exciting editor. And this was TSR. TSR bought the Amazing magazine, and they were trying to become a big publishing house. They're new, they're hot, and you can get them from Real Partha Enterprises. Nice looking figures. I like those. I didn't have any of those. And you get these all around the country. And then we get The Key to Ramali, a little bit of fiction for us. I don't remember having read this one, so maybe I'll treat myself when I'm done here and sit down and read it. I don't remember this one. Ice Can Stand the Heat, a long look at Iron Crown Rollmaster series. I was talking about character law and spell law at the beginning, and here is a nice long look at it. And Arms Law, Claws Law. Yeah, I liked it. I read quite a bit of it. A friend of mine had it, and I did read it, and I played it in a game or two back in 81 or so. It really just didn't grab me. It seemed to be overly complicated to me. I don't know. Silver Dawn by Entertainment Concepts Incorporated, $5,000 quest tournament out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Campaign law still going. Battle Mats and Mega Mats. Have one of these. Don't use it much anymore, but I do have one. And now we come to the Aries Science Fiction Gaming section. I like that this was treated as its own little magazine. I thought that was kind of neat. Here we get our table of contents, our letter to the editor, and then we're going to take a look beyond the dark years, the timeline of the Gamma World universe. That's kind of neat. I remember this. I remember reading this. That's pretty cool. The Marvel File. This is what I liked about Marvel Superheroes. We got a look at the Marvel characters every month based on the Marvel Superheroes game. But a lot of this was easily to translate to Champions. And a lot of this is really good flavor, too. Walt Simonson drawing of Thor. Walt Simonson was really popular at the time on Thor. And then we have an ad for Space Opera from Fantasy Games Unlimited out of Roslyn, New York. Still have Space Opera. I've been saying for years I should get around to it. I haven't read it in a long time. Maybe I will. Continuing on Thor. His two of his main foes, Loki and Ulik. It's clobbering time. Marvel Superheroes role-playing game. Got this out in time for Gen Con 1984. The Battle at Ebony Eyes, a Star Frontiers Nighthawks game scenario. Some Star Frontiers / Nighthawks support. I like it. Beyond the Quadrazone, the year is 2615. Interstellar space travel has been commonplace. And you get a play-by-mail game out of it. Other Suns adventure from Fantasy Games Unlimited. Exciting new science fiction role-playing game. I never played that one. Yachts and Privateers Return. Revised statistics for Star Frontier's Nighthawk ships. That's pretty cool. Games on Call. Calling convenience. We specialize in science fiction and board games. And your chance to buy them from a lot of different vendors out of Amarillo, Texas. Star Questions. Questions and answers on Star Frontiers Gaming. I still look at these questions and answers for the various games just to keep my head on straight. Time Master Adventures in the Fourth Dimension. A great time, anytime, from Pace Setter Games, Delavan, Wisconsin. A Gamer's Guides, just a bunch of smaller ads. Stuff you might be interested. The index to advertisers right there. We get some Dragon Mirth. I like that one, actually. Forgot to map this area. It's all just blank grid. And then Wormy, of course. Gotta love Wormy. Wormy. We always got about 3 or 4 pages of Wormy. And then SnarfQuest. SnarfQuest ran a long time. I know they ran in at least issue 130, 135. Might have been longer than that. Finishing out SnarfQuest, we go to an ad for Dragon. Are you missing some dragons in your lair? Now's your chance to order them. And Bug-Eyed Monsters. They Want Our Women from West End Games. And then finishing out Middle-earth role-playing system, J.R. Tolkien's World from Iron Crown Enterprises. I had a few of these modules. They were not bad. I liked ICE. I liked Space Master. Just a lot of fun there. They were printed Silent Death for quite a while. Just some fun stuff. But anyway, that's a look at Dragon, number 88 from August 1984. Let me know what you think. What were you up to 40 years ago? Were you around 40 years ago? I know I certainly was. But that's all I got today on page 121. I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Any questions or comments, please leave them below. Any suggestions for future videos or anything, let me know. And if you could help out in the Patreon, take a look at that and help me out there. I would really appreciate it. But that's all I've got today. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you next time on page 121.